Hello, and thank you for joining us today on the Gentle Art of Crushing It show, where we focus on learning and sharing with our listeners all there is to know about how to create success in our lives. This show stands on the shoulders of giants. Our mission is to empower and inspire our listeners to create the life of their dreams whilst having a blast in the process. Let's celebrate life together. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Gentle Art of Crushing It. My name is Nathan. I am your host today, and I'm super honored and excited to have the one, the only Mr. Billy Keels. Billy, how you doing?
What's up, Nathan? How you doing, man?
Good. I'm good. Thank you so much for your time. So who is Billy?
You know what, man? So I'm going to do this like the very Reader's Digest version, because Billy is an individual who today is a husband, a father, a son, a cousin, an uncle, and someone who is living the best version of his life possible. I wanted to work for a company called P&G, Procter & Gamble, because when I got my college degree, got a marketing degree, then I went back and got another degree in Spanish. I thought I was gonna, I'd seen the world. I'd started to travel, went to Europe, thought I was gonna come back, add this like European thing, second degree, and was gonna get the job, but I got rejected twice. But what that taught me was my life completely changed. Yeah, so what it means for me today is being able to really do what I want, when I want, with whom I want. Like that is what success really, truly means to me today, which is very different than what success meant to me growing up, because I watched my parents struggle, Nathan. And when you watch your parents struggle financially, it's just no fun. And what my parents did actually, which made in doing what they really wanted to do to help us, I think it made it definitely made it more challenging for me and my brother and sister, right? Because we were always in a good school district, like public school district, but my parents were working 2 jobs for us to afford to be there. So when a lot of my friends had brand new cars that their parents bought for them, like we didn't have that. And so what it did was it really gave me this false impression of you have to have money, like you need money to be successful, like money is the epitome of success. But I can promise you that when I was making a lot of money working for that really large company that I talked to you about before, I missed my son's 3rd birthday, Nathan, and it absolutely crushed me emotionally, because that day I decided to be at a business meeting instead of being where I wanted to be. So that night of my son's 3rd birthday, while my wife and my in-laws were all together, I was chasing a title, I was chasing money, and I realized that I'll never get that time back. And so that's when I start realizing, that's one of the main points in my life when I started realizing, like, hey, look, success is not just about money. Success is not just about a title. Sometimes, right, you realize that all the time it's about being able to have control over your time, being able to invest your time with the people that you love the most.
And would you say that's your favorite success story, just being able to leave corporate, or do you have another success story that you like to share with people if ever asked?
I guess the success, the thing that a lot of people will talk about is, hey, you're able to leave corporate in your 40s. Well, yeah, that was kind of cool. But I guess the bigger success for me is being able to now be able to fly back to the U.S. when I want. I have a father who had some really terrible health problems. And so to me, it's, well, thank you. He's doing much better today, but that was one of the reasons that it was time for me to leave corporate, right? Because I realized that there's something about seeing your father having machines keeping him alive, right? When he's in the ICU, and it made me reflect and just realize, like, hey, listen, I want to be doing something else. And so that was a part of it. Or even like being able to play video games with my kids, like, and we're like having fun, engaging. Like, to me, that's another measure of success.
Did you miss your son's 3rd birthday and then wake up the next day and things were different, either mindset or activities or where you spent your time and money, or did it take a time for you to transition? I'm curious, right? I see you're grabbing something, so maybe it's the secret recipe book. I love it.
Yeah, so I don't. Hopefully, people are watching the video version, because you just mentioned something that is really important to me. Like, and if you should see this, so that happened in October of 2012. I don't know if you will actually be able to see this or not, but you won't be able to see it. But here it says October 2012. So what happened when I got back from that trip? I had to sit down and I literally wrote down my goals and said what I wanted to do. At the time, I was focused really on real estate investing. I've since evolved in doing a number of different things. But this was about, how do I get real estate to create a level of income that I needed, that was decoupled from me actually doing the work, and to be able to do that in a 60-month or 5-year period. I needed that because I needed to be able to see it, because that's how things work best for me when I go from theory to action, to take action. It did not take me 60 months. It didn't take me 5 years. It took me 18 months to accomplish this goal that is written here that you can't see. And the reason I say that is one, to answer your question. So I actually literally sat down and wrote it, and I keep this near me in my office so I can actually see, one, that usually we heavily underestimate the things that we can do, especially on a 5-year time frame. I think somebody famous said it, and it's true, because that happened to me. Like, I thought it was going to take 5 years. Well, guess what? It only took 18 months.
Yeah. And if you were to pick one key that unlocked your success, Billy, what do you think that is?
The things that allow us to move forward are usually about getting some education, getting some accountability, and also being able to be and run with the right teams. And teams are about relationships and people. And whether that was when I was in my corporate role, it's the times that we won, and we won as teams, it was because we had the right people with the right direction. And even now, in serving today, the clients that we serve, it's because we've built the right relationships, we've invested the right amount of time, we've understood the direction, and it's a very similar philosophy. But I believe that the success comes through the empathy and relationships. In terms of book recommendations, the one book that, there's a lot of different books, and I'm reading a book that's actually really, really interesting right now. But the one that's made, and without a doubt, the one that I recommend the most is the one that helped me to really, truly start to understand the importance of not just macroeconomics, but also the different players that are involved and the way that there are, like the geopolitical scene. And it's a book that you've probably heard of, and it's called The Creature from Jekyll Island.
How can our audience get in touch with you if you so choose? How can our audience help you? What do you want to plug before we let you get out of here, Billy?
Yeah, sure, man. And I appreciate this format, Nathan. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and share a little bit of my experience with you. And I love the fact that we can talk about life. It doesn't always just have to be about investment stuff. One of the things that we do is at First Generation Capital Partners, which is my company, we help people who are accredited investors who are interested in generating not only consistent returns, but also interested in keeping more of your income through income tax. And that's something that we're really strong on. If someone wants to know more about that, it is for accredited investors only. They can go to firstgencp.com/paylesstax. Once again, firstgencp.com/paylesstax. Find out more about some of the strategies we're using there. Also, as you mentioned, the Going Long podcast with Billy Keels. I'd love for people to come over and listen, talk about being able to live in one place and invest where it makes the most sense for you. And I would say, lastly, I love connecting with people on LinkedIn. Like, I really do. It's just it's a great place, and I know, Nathan, you and I could chat over there as well. And so I think I'm the only Billy Keels in Barcelona, Spain, I believe. So it should be pretty easy to find me.
You, so it's not that hard.
Yeah, it should be pretty easy to find me. So just let me know that you heard Nathan and I here speaking on the general art of crushing it, and we can keep the conversation going. But aside from that, I think those are the best ways to find out more about me, what we're doing at First Generation Capital Partners. And like I said, Nathan, I really, really, really just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to share a bit more of my story today.
Wonderful. With that, Billy, we'll make sure to send everyone your way. Thank you so much for your time, and we'll leave it at that. Thanks again, Billy. Take care.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of The Gentle Art of Crushing It. It was an amazing episode. We know we sure learned a lot, and we hope you did as well. We want to take a second and thank you so much for viewing or listening to this episode. And please just know that we only ask for one favor, and that is to make this life magnificent. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.